Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine. I'm a junior at the California State University of Long Beach, and I'm currently studying communication studies. And today I'm here with Amanda. And would you like to introduce yourself to everyone, Amanda?
Yes, hello, I'm Amanda. I'm currently a Boston College junior studying economics. Actually currently studying abroad in Greece, and I'm a Division I athlete at BC for the ski team. So I competitively alpine ski race. And yeah, just a little bit about myself.
That's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So have you always skied or
Yeah, I
okay.
grew up in New Hampshire, so that's kind of what the thing to do was. That's how I got into it. And then my twin brother and I both really just connected with it and went to a ski academy actually for high school. So we kind of started taking it really seriously once we, went to high school basically for that reason. So
Nice.
yeah, that's
So, as of right now, how did you pick your current college?
so a lot of my decision making with regards to my current college had to do with skiing. So I was kind of looking for a balance between the athletics and the academics. And that within itself, I think actually I was pretty lucky because that kind of limited my range. Otherwise, I would have had like a much broader range of schools and I would have
Yeah.
had to kind of like find different aspects that I was looking for to limit it down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so that in itself, like the skiing and the academics, limited my choices to a handful of schools in the Northeast. And then a lot of the schools with competitive ski teams that I was looking at were really small schools in more remote areas, such as like Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. And since I went to a boarding ski academy all of high school, I was kind of used to being in remote areas, and I was really looking for more of like a change of pace. Being in a larger school closer to a city, which BC, I go to Boston College, as I said, and BC's location is right outside of Boston, so it had the feeling of the campus as well as having the resources of being right next to a city, which I really loved. And so the combination of those two things really drew me towards Boston College initially. And then once I started researching more about the college itself, I learned that it was a lot bigger of a school, which I liked, and that it also had different schools, different colleges within the university or within the college, which gave it a more of a university type feeling because there's so many different, you can take different courses within the different colleges. Even if you're in one college, that doesn't restrict you from taking courses within different colleges at the school. So I really liked how big the school was in terms of like how many opportunities there were for taking different courses and career opportunities, and the fact that it was right next to a city too, because I actually got an internship my sophomore year in Boston. So I was able to commute in a couple of times a week, and then I did that full time this past summer. So I kind of look back and I'm like, oh, it's really great that I chose Boston College,
Yeah.
because if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't have had the ability to commute in and do that internship. That was really rewarding for me. So those are kind of like the main things that contributed to my choice of Boston College.
Wow, okay. So yeah, I really like how you mentioned that you were kind of lucky because your options were so limited.
Yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people look at that as kind of like a downside, that
right,
there's all these options out there and they're only allowed to look at a selected few for a variety of reasons. Because,
right.
maybe sometimes like the budget is not all there.
Completely,
But
completely.
like you said, like with any college that you go to, there's going to be so many different types of resources that you could
Hmm.
utilize, so many different campuses for you to go on to. Just like there's always going to be something at that college for you that
Completely.
is going to be very beneficial, and it'll make you feel like you're not missing out on anything.
Completely. And it's all about taking advantage of those resources. And
Yes, exactly.
some schools are better at um, showcasing what resources they have, but that doesn't mean that they aren't available if they're not
Yes,
showcasing them. So it's all about
exactly.
really, like, you really have to take initiative with
And
any
be
school that you go to
active,
and try and
right?
figure out those resources, because every college, like I guarantee most colleges have really amazing resources, and you just need to take
Yes.
initiative and find those. and take advantage of them because,
Yeah.
I mean, you're only there for probably around 4 years. So
Hmm.
it's really important to, yeah, seek out those opportunities yourself.
Yeah. And speaking of resources, have you visited your college's career center? And if you did, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I love our college career center. It's definitely been super helpful for me
Hmm.
in like my whole like career pathfinding experience. So basically, I originally started going to the career center with help with my resume, and they've been a great help. So I would just walk in, and you can do walk-in visits with certain things like resume, and you can have someone just. It's really important, I think, just to get another set of eyes on your resume because there's I mean, you can edit your resume 100 different times, and you still have like ways of improving it and
Right.
making it more
Yes, that's so
professional
true.
and outlining it. A resume is, you know, really intricate. And so I would just go in and have them look at my resume, give me a few details. I would fix it up. I would come back, do the same thing just to get it more and more tweaked. And then I would start a big resource that the Career Center made known to me was a thing that Boston College has called Eagle Link, which is basically a website that's designed for Boston College students sign in, and basically it's Boston College alumni looking to hire Boston College students. So
Wow,
yeah,
really? That's
yeah, it's
amazing.
really great. Yeah, so you upload your resume and you upload a couple different documents, cover letters, and sometimes you can even just like press apply right there, and you don't even need to go through the
Hmm.
company's own application process. Sometimes it'll direct you to a different link. But
Hmm.
it's really incredibly because you're directly applying to BC alum. So
Right.
that's a really important resource that I used. And also they help take professional pictures of you for your LinkedIn profile. You can set that up.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
you
so cool.
and then you can also set up mock interviews.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and you
Hmm.
can even set up private sessions to get your resume looked at. So, like a more in depth conversation about what your resume should look like pertaining to what you're kind of looking at for different applications.
Hmm.
And even some of the like on campus interviews that I had with different companies took place in the Career Center. And it was just nice being able, like, being in a place where I was comfortable that I had been to before. So I definitely recommend getting comfortable with your Career Center at your school if it's available, because that
Right.
definitely was a huge help to me, has been a huge help to me thus far, and I'm sure will continue to be one.
Yeah, and definitely like the Career Center always has your back. And I feel like if you're
Hmm.
looking for internships, that's also a good place to go.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have opportunities posted up on their board
Hmm.
or, and like you said, you had an internship, right? Um,
Yeah.
do you think that they kind of helped you get that internship in some way?
Yeah. So I got the internship a few months into my sophomore year. And luckily, it was more of like a relaxed internship. It was for a
Mhm.
private wealth management group. But in that internship in itself taught me a lot, but it also taught me that there are different standards for more intense internships, and the ways to figure out what those standards are and prep for those standards is to go to your career center and get their
Right,
advice on that.
right,
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky with being able to get the opportunity to experience an internship kind of as like early on to be able to learn from that. And because it's really if you're, especially you're going into business, or I'm sure any profession, like there are certain standards that are expected to be needed and expected to be met, sorry. And it's the career center could definitely help prep you for any and all of that, because they know what they're talking about. Like you said, they have your back, they want you to succeed. And yeah, the career center for me definitely helped me with my resume, forming questions about what to ask in interviews, and just general questions that I had about the interview process in general. So,
yeah. The Career Center at my school has definitely helped me a lot, especially with
mm-hmm.
resume. help. Like I go
Yeah.
into them anytime I change my resume, honestly,
Yeah.
and they always give me feedback. There's always something to fix, which I think is really amazing. And
Hmm.
they also helped me get my internship that I had in the summer too, so I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
So what resources have helped you pick your major or have helped you with career exploration? And or was your major something that you have always been passionate about? And on the other hand, are you still researching possible majors that you like would want to do instead of the one you're doing now?
So I'm pretty enthusiastic about my major now, which is economics.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm like really excited about it. And I didn't know what I wanted to do going into college.
Yeah, me
Um,
neither.
yeah, so I kind of just like started taking a bunch of different courses, which was partially due to the fact that BC has a lot of different core requirements. Similar to a lot of other schools, that allows you to kind of take courses that you wouldn't necessarily take
Hmm.
in order to like expand your just get your foot in the door with other like topics that you wouldn't necessarily have otherwise chosen to study.
Yeah.
And so for me, I kind of just realized that I was a math person once I started excelling in the high level math courses at my college, and that drew me to economics. And so, but then once I chose an economics major, and once you can sign up for the email list for different majors, which
Hmm.
I think is really important and is really great, because then the head of that department will send you emails about like internship opportunities, speakers that are coming to talk about that, like related
Oh,
to
those are
economics, or
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing for like pre-med or any other department. The department head will send you emails based, like if there's a workshop going on, you get updated, you get an email update. So that's a really important thing, because once you get more involved with different aspects of the major too, as for me, it just made me more and more excited about what I was pursuing,
Yeah.
and more interested, like going and hearing a different speakers talk about their different point of views on economics, really helped fuel my passion for the major. So yeah, definitely signing up for those emails, getting the emails from the head of the departments was really a great tool that helped me kind of be confident and in knowing that this major is the major that I want to pursue. So,
Yeah, yeah, and definitely I feel like a lot of people could relate to the
hmm,
fact that like when you go into college, not necessarily you don't know what you want to do.
yeah,
And I know a lot of people who have had that experience and are still currently experiencing that, even if they're, a sophomore.
hmm,
There's time to explore, and that's really
totally,
great advice that you gave to, just kind of explore
yeah.
different classes and just have a variety. If you took a class you didn't like, then try something else, right?
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. And another thing that I would say is definitely branch out and try to go to those extracurricular events, because those outside of the
Yeah.
classroom events can really give you a sense of what that major would translate and be like as a career. Because a
Right.
lot of majors start out with these intro classes that are not the most
Yeah.
interesting, and this
Yeah.
can totally like turn off people from that major so quickly, because, and I mean, even my intro economics courses I did not like, I was not passionate about. And it
Yeah.
takes like, now that I'm studying upper level electives of economics, I'm completely into my major, I'm so excited about it.
Right.
So I would just say it's really important to, even if you're not like, if you don't know what to do, which is totally fine, no one's expecting you to know what path you want to take, but
Mm-hmm.
just try and branch out and go to those different extracurricular meetings and events and speakers to get a sense of what it's like outside of the classroom. Uh,
Right. So, speaking about a different topic, are you a part of any associations by chance, or?
I'm not a part of any associations. I'm a member of a few clubs at my school, but also skiing takes up a bunch of my time. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
I know what associations are. I'm familiar with them. That they're
Mm-hmm.
really just organizations looking to help people. And I mean, I'm sure there's so many different kinds of associations out there, and I
Yeah.
definitely would love to become members of associations once I become more educated on, what the different associations are and,
Yeah.
what their goal is, because I'm definitely a big believer in getting involved in, what you're passionate about. So I definitely would love to become a member of one or more, but I'm not currently a member of any associations.
Right. Yeah, me neither, but it's
Mhm.
definitely something very interesting. And I know for a fact that no matter like what kind of association you're looking for, there's one out there. There's
Yeah,
definitely so many out there, and you could always find people with the same passions as you.
yeah,
And it's also a place for people to network and to get
right.
to know other people and kind of make new friends and just kind of relate to people who are similar to you in the way that they like to do things that you like to do, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I like that you mentioned networking because I think that that's a really important part of like finding a career that
Yeah,
is right for you, because it's really
so
about
important.
personal connection. And
Yeah,
for a lot of people, it's about, how you connect with the people, and that's how they decide if they think that this would be a good fit for them.
right.
So I would just say try and use all the resources you can to network
Mhm.
as much as possible. Just meet new people, see who you connect with and why you connect with them.
Right.
Because if you connect with someone really well, chances are you have very similar interests, and one of those
Mhm.
interests might be their career. So I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you that that's a great tool. The networking part of that is a great tool for just like meeting people and figuring
Yeah.
out what your path is.
Yeah, and the internships definitely help with networking a lot. Like I have to
Hmm.
say, my internship that I had has opened so many opportunities for me. Like one thing literally leads to another. Like you're
Yeah,
always gonna have like if you keep up with those connections and those networks, like you'll branch out even more. Like one
yeah,
network leads to another, and then this
yeah.
one leads to like a bunch of others. So
Totally. And
really,
I'm sure that you know this, but even if you get involved in something that you end up not liking, that's one
mhm.
box that you can check off, you know?
Yeah,
It's one thing that
exactly.
you're like, okay, well, at least I know I don't want to pursue this. And
Right,
which is actually really
exactly.
helpful, considering how many different career paths there are or different activities there are to follow.
Yeah,
Like it's so important just to at least just say, okay, this is not for me. Great. Now
right.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
because you probably would have wondered before, like, oh, what if,
right.
like, so
Right.
that's really
Yeah.
good advice. So
Yeah.
speaking of internships, we're coming to a close now, but are there currently any internships that you have lined up for you, or maybe an apprenticeship, or, what are your next steps as of
Yeah.
right
So I actually have an internship that I just received set up for this upcoming summer.
now?
Um,
Wow,
yeah.
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
so
I'm
cool.
really
That's
excited. So
exciting.
it's in corporate finance, and I'll be in New York, and I'm really excited. There's
Wow.
different groups that I could be placed into, but I'm not sure which one I will be placed into yet. But
Right.
I'm just really excited about the opportunity. One of the biggest things that I'm most excited about is just the fact that I'm going to be exposed to a lot of different like areas of work and areas of research and stuff like that. So I'm really excited, just like take it all in, learn as much as I can, kind of like be a sponge, absorb as much information as I can. I'm really excited to learn and work hard. So yeah, I'm really excited about what I have coming up. And a lot of that I have to credit to, like you said, my career center and networking. Those are probably the two biggest tools that help me get the internship that I have lined up right now. So
Right. And did you set up this internship while in Greece, or was this something
yeah.
that see?
So
You see,
yeah,
you can
I know. You
multitask.
can do
Like
it
this is
remotely.
what I want other people to know,
Yeah,
you could totally
totally.
do it. Don't
You're
act
not
like you don't
you're
have
not off
time
the
for
grid.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I'm 7 hours ahead and you just make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a lot of networking before last spring. So when I was on campus too, which helps because you can put a face to a name sometimes, but even just having a phone conversation goes such a long way with people because you don't need to necessarily talk about career oriented items, as long as you're just connecting with someone and having, like, most people are just looking for someone that they can have and hold a decent conversation with. So, so yeah, if you can just get on the phone and connect with someone, find a similar interest, that's really important. So that's what I was doing. I was doing Skype interviews while I was here, and phone interviews. So you can do it if you're abroad. Don't think that limits you at all. And actually, being abroad usually people are really excited about that. It's something to talk about too. So it kind of enhances the experience a bit too. So
right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for taking the time out of your day to be here to speak to us. And it's such a pleasure hearing all of the advice that you had to say. A lot of people are going to learn from this. And I wish you luck at your internship and the rest of your stay in Greece. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. And thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And I wish you luck as well with all of your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.